Hello everyone, it is Thalan McRom, and we're back with something that you haven't seen on my channel before. Now, this is a game I've actually played quite a bit of. It is a game called Haven Hearth. Um, it's actually a game I've introduced several of my friends and a couple of my family members to that play with me. My wife plays with me occasionally, and one of my Patreons is actually with me tonight, and will be playing with me tonight in this episode, and that is a Patreon by the name of David Seargist. You probably have seen him in the credits. He's a good real-world friend of mine, and I'm the one who introduced him to this game, and he's now actually gotten better at it than me, due to more consistent playing of it in recent time than I have. With that all said, part of the reason I'm doing this video is because, one, I've been wanting to play Haven Hearth for a while, because it's one of those games that you'll play it for like a good, or at least in my case, I'll play it for like a good month or 2 months just solid. Like, it'll be the only thing I play for like long period of time. And then I'll kind of get to like, it is a grindy game for people who don't like grind. Just heads up. Um, and then I'll kind of hit a point where I kind of burn out for a bit and just need to take a break, and I'll put it down. And I'll forget to come back to it for like a year, you know. And then I'll get back into it and spend more time doing it. And I'm going to be creating a brand new character for this episode and for this potentially series that we'll be doing for two reasons. One, on Friday, December 5th, I don't know exactly what time, but on that day, and there's a countdown on their website and on the Steam page, because one of the things they did when they did the last major world change, because every once in a while they reset the world and everybody starts over, they released the game onto Steam to make it also available on Steam, not just their website. It was very good for the player base and got them a lot of fresh blood playing the game, in my opinion. But on Friday, they're going to be releasing another world. Now, normally that would mean ending the old world, which would be World 16 in this case, and deleting it and creating a new world, which would be World 17. Be the normal operation. However, this time, for the first time ever, the developers making Haven Hearth have decided to do something different, something they've never done before. World 16 will continue on as it currently is on Friday. No changes. People playing there can continue to play there. However, they're going to be starting up a new world called World 16.1. And it's a world that's going to have some new experimental features they're working with, and some new features they're bringing to the game. It'll change some of the gameplay mechanics. And when you join the game, you'll have the option of which world do you want to play in, and which world will this character exist in when you make your character. So if you already have a World 16 character, when you play that character, it's in World 16. If you make a new character, you can make it in World 16.1, and it will exist in that world with those new changes. We may go and start new characters on World 16.1 when that drops. David and I have not discussed that yet, but my wife and I have been discussing it, and she wants to do that. And so we may do a small series on that as we all kind of play. So we'll talk about that. But anyways, we're gonna jump into it here. I'm gonna make a new character, and I'll go ahead and introduce David. David, say hi to the rest of the fans.
Thank you, Thalan. It's good to helping you out here.
Yep. And so, as I said, I'm going to be making characters, so you're going to get to see the early game. But we're also going to do a tour of David's base once I get my character created here. And when you click Create New Character, you start off as this little orb of light. You don't have a physical form yet in the world. You're basically just a soul being born into the world. And then I have to remember how to move. I think it's just, yeah, you just left click to move. The game is a Java game, so it is a little... The screen capture may not be perfect on this, but we're going to do our best here. Alright, so it's all... There is no voice acting. It's all narrative. You read the text. All of that. So in this case, it's telling us there is light. You find yourself surrounded by a vast, dark forest with a path ahead of you stretching far off into some distant greenery all around you. The land draws heavy breaths of wind, carrying with it secrets of pine and earth and age. You feel light, almost floating, yet strangely also heavier than you have ever felt before. Sentries are everywhere around you and within you. This game has a lot of interesting spiritual folklore in it. I love the world building in this game, and honestly, I very much love how they've built this game. And it is an MMO, for people who are curious. And then we get to this fork in the road, basically. You get to pick. Are you going to be male or are you going to be female? And that's quite literally chosen by which path you go. If you go to the left, you're female. If you go to the right, you're male. That's it. And it's very interesting storytelling. There's even quests in the game. We're going to go right just because, I'm one of those people. I always play what gender I am in real life. So I'm a man. I usually play male characters. Unless the game only has female characters, in which case I'll play a female character. It doesn't bother me. Just my preference. And there you go. It creates you with a body. Just boom. Yeah, you're naked, but you don't actually have any dangly bits. So, and then you can come over here. The pool. Click on the pool. And you can customize your character. Which I'm going to do. So, I usually like going with kind of a steel silver hair. Yeah, I'll go steel silver, I think. Yeah, I like steel silver. We'll do that. Beard, gotta have the full beard. Can't play this game and not have a full beard. And yeah, I still like that steel silver vest. Alright, let's see here. Now, for my top haircut, I can do bald. I can do the beetle. Mohawk. No, I don't really like the mohawk. Rough cut. Okay, unkept. Ooh, kind of a nice wild man look there. Monk, go with the top bald and the cut around. Yeah. I don't need to look like my grandfather. I think I'll go with the unkept. I like kind of wild, unkept man look there. There we go. All right. So, character created. As far as customization goes, then you come over here, and during character creation, by the way, this guy here, you'll talk to him, and you'll select your name, and starting on Friday, once World 16.1 goes live, when you talk to him after selecting your name, you'll also select, are you in World 16 or are you in World 16.1? This wizard guy. And then So, the other thing about this game, as I said, it is an MMO. It does also have PvP. You cannot disable the PvP. It is permanently on. Everyone is PvP active. And it's also got permanent death. Now, if someone's going to kill you in the game, they have to actively choose so. Alright? Then you don't just, die because another player attacks you. They have to choose to kill you. Just like if you want to kill another player, there's a set of actions you have to take to actually choose to kill them. Otherwise, you can just knock each other out, basically. Wild animals do not follow this case. Because there's no, NPC humans. There's other players and wild animals. The wild animals can and will kill you. So, it's a very hard game to learn, and even harder to master. But once you kind of get the rough idea of it, it's a great, fun little game. But anyways, the reason I bring all that up is because you see here, there's a graveyard right here. If you were picking up and you've just died, you've just lost your last character, you can come in here, and you can go up to the gravestone, and basically inherit your previous character's life. And you'll start off with some of the skills and abilities they acquired, as well as access to all of their property, and their spawn point will become your spawn point. And when you go into the world, you take over their life. But first, let's name our characters. So let's come over here and talk to the wizard. And we'll just go with Thalan. There we go. Cool. My character's name is Thalan. Now, to join the world, you just right-click on the fire and burn yourself into the world. Yeah, you quite literally burn yourself into the world. But we're not going to do that, because I'm going to be joining David at his base of operations to get started, so you can see his base, because otherwise it just randomly deposits you somewhere in the world. And the world is massive. You may never find your friend if you do that. There's a way to basically place a summoning beacon. It's called a wilderness beacon. Once you've join the game, and then you can make a password, give your friend the password, and they can come join you. And that's what we're going to do. That's what this thing over here is for. So we're going to do this. All right, and make sure I just type that in right. So in this case, David has set his secret, his hearth secret for the wilderness beacon to dig deep. Let me just check and make sure I've done the right one here. Dig deep. Yes, indeed, I did spell that correctly, and the way he wrote it. So we'll press enter here, and now you notice our skull and antlers are all lit up. So we come back over here, and we can right-click on the fire now. Our character will go screaming into the world. Sorry if that's a bit loud. And it's now going to load up the world for us, and you burn in the fire for what seems like an eternity, in an unbearable amount of pain singeing through every fiber of your body, convulsing in darkness of flame. It is with relief that you suddenly sense the quiet, different note of a cool breeze somewhere high and above and beyond the fire and the pain. The breeze grows softly, stronger, and soothes your charred skin, cooling the rage around you. Before long, there is only the wind. Gain 1,000 experience. The experience is important later on. So these things that I'm standing next to that look like logs with basically a brazier on top, those are the wilderness beacons. David has not set passwords on those yet, but he could, and then other people could join us. And basically what happens... Let's turn around. You see now I'm standing in this green fire? This is my hearth fire now. If I get knocked out, I return to the hearth fire. I can also use magic to teleport back to my hearth fire. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure this is David standing here just staring at me. Is that you, David?
Yep.
There you go.
I just about to do make-in so you can,
There you go. You can see him decked out in his cool outfit and stuff. As you can see, I'm still... I have nothing. Because you literally start with nothing in this game. Now, as I talked about, XP is important. Let's see if I can remember how to get into my character sheet. Again, let's see here. Kith and Kin. First things first, I need to memorize David's character. Yes, I will be their kin. Alright. And so now I've memorized them. We're kin. Basically, we are friends in the game. Like, I'll set them to green, basically saying, oh yes, I am definitely friends with this person. White's just basically people you know, and you can... These colors are for, like, access to your town, your house, or whatever. You can use this as a way to grant people access to different things. Which I imagine David's probably now doing on his end, since I'm in his territory. Am I within your claim?
yeah, you are, but, because I made it pretty big, but, you have permission to go through.
Cool. So David's basically giving me permission to his land claim, and you can see, if we look around here, somewhere around here is his land claim. No, this is a big land claim there, David. There'll basically be like a totem around here somewhere. That's his land claim. Is it inside the house? By chance? No, there it is. I see it. Okay. Okay, here it is. I'm going to walk over here to it just to show people.
Yeah, if you need gear, here's the communal gear that I was preparing.
Right. So you see this skull on a thing here with a rock in front of it. That's the land claim device. Basically, this thing, it protects the area inside of this from other people messing with it unless they intentionally commit criminal acts within the game. Which, again, they've chosen to do that if they do that. And you can see, wow, David, you've got a huge farm. That is a massive farm, sir. All of this is farmland. Farming's a big part of the game.
As I said, I did kind of...
Alright, well, let's get to... Oh my god. Did you plant all these trees out here too, or are these just wild trees?
Some of them are mine, some of them are wild, some of them are like, above, 20, trees. I got 70s on the other side.
Oh wow. Let's see here. Which direction am I heading here? Looks like I'm heading north. So this your neighbors up here?
Yeah, they're, I think they're gone, because, like,
their crops are dead, and you said the claim's gone?
Yeah.
This
but
is,
the door's locked. So
well, then it'll probably start to decay soon. Like, so you can see, like, these people have built a palisade around their stuff. I mean, I'd almost be tempted to steal their bishop over there, if I were you. Feel free to take anything. Corner. Oh, okay, so this is like a little place they had, like, a little giveaway station. What is this thing? I've never seen this. What is this?
oh yeah, and in that red chest is the boots I owe you.
I appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about inventory a little bit here. Let me open up my inventory. This is our inventory. Yeah, it's a little box. Yes, it is a grid-based inventory, not weight-based, which is nice in a sense. Um, which red chest, David?
The one up here
This one here?
by the two
Okay.
oranges.
So, David, trying to bribe me into the game, kindly made me a pair of boots. Oh, wow. Look at all this crazy stuff you got in here. I take it it's these leather boots in here with the...
Yep.
So, I watched David make these, by the way. He was sitting there making them, and every time he succeeded on... So, the system, and this is one of the systems changing in 16.1. Basically, when you ever make a clothing item, you can then add items to the clothing item to enhance it. It's called gelding the thing. Basically, you add decorations so the item gains new abilities, depending on what you decorate it with. And one of the decorations you can add to a piece of clothing in the game are pockets, which each pocket adds one inventory slot to your inventory. They're very handy. So if we open up our character sheet here, our equipment sheet, right here, we see our lovely nude character. Don't mind the image. In this case, David made these ridiculously high quality leather boots. And they're like uh, 83.4 quality, and they're technically also armor, which is one of the amazing things about leather boots. But they have 5 pockets on them. He's somehow because and each time you put a gelding on something, like notice. Okay, so let me take them off here real quick. So you can see I've got a 4x5 inventory, and that's because I've paid the permanent $15 lifetime upgrade to the developers like 10 years or not 10 years ago, like 4 years ago or whatever when I first started playing the game to give me basically one more column of inventory permanently um, for all characters I ever made. You can also get an extra row of inventory if you just pay them like a monthly support payment. But that's all optional. Game's also free. You can just play the game for free off the website. Don't feel like you have to pay for it. But so we add these, and now look, I get an extra column and the start of another row of inventory from the extra 5 slots he's added on these boots. These boots are ridiculous. These boots are not something any new player should expect to have. They give me hard armor and soft armor, which is for combat. They give me plus 10 detection, plus 10 sneak, and plus 5 inventory space. Really? They give me detection? Where am I getting detection from? Something on here is giving me detection. I don't even know what. Alright, sure. Cool. So detection is basically your ability... Alright, hold on. Was that... Okay, no, that's my base detection instinct. Never mind. Don't mind me. Good lord. The detection is basically your ability to find things. So let's go ahead and get started in that. I am going to keep the boots just because the boots are amazing.
I'll let you get to it.
Yeah, so I'll be back around, David. And as you can see, David's like built like houses and stuff, and we will be working on building a house here. Where does your land claim end? How far out this way does your land claim go? I see there's like an abandoned hearth fire out here.
Yeah, you should be clear from here.
From about where you're standing? Okay. He said
Let
south of
me
you.
turn on.
And you said south of you there's kind of like a bunch of open space, right?
Just a little more here.
Where? We'll see you. There you are.
You should be.
Well, I was heading to the south of you.
I'm coming over
Okay.
a little further. Up.
Well, I'm gonna go a bit south, down this way. That's all. Basically, I'm going to set up a little land claim just south of David here to have kind of my own spot, so I can walk through the process of like building a house and stuff.
Yep.
All right, so it wants us to check our quest log real quick as well. Hold on. So that's going to be in our character stuff. Where is it? No, that's Kith and Kin. Character sheet. All right. And so these are your stats, your attributes. You increase these by eating food, by the way, for those watching. And then these are abilities. So you remember that experience I was talking about? Use experience points to gain learning points, and you spend learning points to increase these skills, or abilities, if you want either. And then there's lores and skills, which are actually things you, again, unlock and whatnot. And they give you new abilities and such. And then this is combat, which I'm not going to worry about combat right now. This is your health and wounds. As you take injuries, it reduces your overall health, stuff like that. But we want us to look at our quest log and do the I am here quest. There we go. Alright. So then we can do shifting gear, which wants us to lift an object, place the object. Basically, these are like starting out little quests to help get you some XP and stuff, things like that. So I think we'll go work on that. So we'll work on something to eat and drink here. So it wants me to... What season is it, David? Summer, okay. We got crab apples here. Are the crab apples useful?
You can't eat them, but
Oh, these are yesterday's crab apples. Aren't these supposed to be studyable?
I don't think they are.
What about this? What's this here? Oh. Looks like there's a
You got
cherry.
some cherries over here.
Yeah, I found the cherries. I'm going to grab those real quick. Yesteryear's cherries. Now, stop. Here we go. Talking about this whole eating thing. So these yesteryear's cherries, these are basically cherries that fell off the tree during winter time. Or at, you know. Notice they have a base EPF and EP per hunger. And anyways, but if you notice, they give you a chance to increase your charisma. So basically, if we go back into our character sheet here, and we go over here to ability, oh no, sorry, base abilities, food event points. That's what that EP, that's what that FEP stands for. And basically, you can see that it will take me 10 of those points until I gain my first ability. It is based on whatever the highest of your abilities are. So mechanically speaking, you are encouraged in the game to increase all of these abilities as evenly as possible to make the most efficient use of the ability points for increasing your abilities. Anyways, but if I was to eat one of these, so I might eat this, you can see that I've eaten something that completed the acquire a stockpileable item, and eat something, and then it also gave me some points towards gaining an ability, and in this case, it gave me points towards gaining +1 charisma. The other thing to keep track of is your hunger level. The more food you eat, the less the food helps you. Just things to be aware of. Ooh, walnuts. I'll take these walnuts as well. Wow, I'm getting all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and eat one of these walnuts too. There we go. Alright, but let's go, because I need to find a birch tree. The reason I need to find a birch tree, it wants me to get a branch. Hold on, let me grab a branch real quick. That tree does not have branches.
I know
Here,
what one
yeah,
is.
this one has branch. There we go. There we go. I got some branches. Wants me to learn the foraging skill now. So if we go into our... And as we pick up new items, it lets us make new things. Like I can build this basket if I wanted to. So basically it unlocks new recipes. Like now I can make a fire or light a fire. You know, but I'm not going to do that right now. Alright, there we go. Okay. Just clearing those off. Okay, so character sheet. And you can see where I've been gaining points towards things. But it wants me to go into here and learn foraging. Because it gave me some learning points, basically. part of the rewards for these quests. So we'll do that. You also get them from finding new items. And then the other one you kind of want fairly early on is Will to Power, because that unlocks magic for you. Because there is magic in the game. And it's all very ritualistic. It's not like, I throw fireballs or anything like that. It's like, you know, I can light the fire by, whispering secret words to the fire and the fire will light. Or I can swiftly walk home and you teleport basically back to your hearth fire. Um, or I can make the water in this well better than it was previously. And the way you do that is you spend XP on the spells, effectively, and do things of that nature. But Will to Power also lets you do other things. So it's one of those I always pick it up early. Alright. And let's see, and then there's like farming and firecrafts. Firecrafts let you do things like um, cook things and whatnot, so we're going to get that one real quick. See, like that opened up the ability to learn cooking, and we already had farming, fishing. Hearth magic is one you definitely want because that lets you actually do things like teleport back to your house. Hunting is important because that lets you get like bows and stuff. I usually end up picking up most of the skills over time. You definitely want stoneworking. And each time you pick one of these up, it kind of gives you like a basic quest to do in that skill tree. I'm going to buy hunting. Pottery is also really good. Let's see here. Rage is what lets you attack other players, in case you're wondering. And trespassing is what lets you basically sneak onto other people's property. And that's how you do the PvP stuff, because you have to learn those skills first. I will need lumberjacking eventually. We'll need cooking, pottery. Anyways, I'm going to come back to like all of these later. We've spent enough of our points right now. And the way you get more of these learning points is you'll study curiosities and items that you find. But let's go back to my quests, and you can see, oh man, like it's unlocked a whole bunch of stuff. Like I can make tools now. Like I can make a roasting spit to roast stuff over a fire if I wanted. And that's just like some wood, some string, and some branches. What's that? Also, if you play this game, notice that my client looks different than yours. I'm using Ender client, not the base client. There's Hearth Magic there, so I can commune with nature, which will basically point you to a quest giver. Contemplation, meditation. Basically, it halves the amount of study time it will take. There's the Kindle one, which lights a fire, and these all cost XP. Quell the Beast, basically you can calm a wild animal. And then Sense Thing will basically point you towards like kind of the big meeting stone in the area you live in or are standing in. And then you can build fire pit and also. Anyways, alright. Let's get doing some of these quests because I also need to get some gear. So go back to our quest log and let's get back to something to eat and drink. There we go. So let's go find those birch trees like I was talking about. How's the water quality of this lake over here? Is it any good or not really?
A little low.
A little low? Okay. What about the clay quality?
Also low. I had to go a lot further to find.
This little thing on the ground I just clicked on here, this little pile, it's a squirrel nest. Ooh, I got a thing of squirrel hair. Which is, alright, we were talking about study. See, this has learning points, study time, mental weight, experience cost. So basically, for one experience, I get 450 learning points, but it takes 8 real-world hours. This game, all that runs in the off time while it's running. And it requires 2 of your intelligence to study it.
Actually, it's I think 8 game world hours, which is 1/4.
Is it? Is it game world
Yeah.
hours? Okay. It's been so long, even I don't remember that. Yeah, so like I can take this, put it in there, and I'll start studying it, and there you go.
I found a birch tree if you need one.
I don't know, I was just gonna keep wandering around. I mean, they should be all over the place. Green apple tree over here. There's a frog over there. A toad. I think that's a toad, actually. I'm also exploring to try and get the lay of the land around here. Still need to find that tree. And these are like little cliffs. You can climb up and down the cliffs. And then there's these stumps. You can find things. You can use these stumps as storage. But same with these logs. Actually, I know I had a quest to lift one of these logs. Hold on. And that's under this adventure menu. And then there's a lift. Just click on the thing you want to lift. There you go. And then we want to place the object. There we go. It wants me to stockpile something. Hold on. Stockpile these sticks real quick. Yep. Alright, and then let's rerun for a second. There we go. Back to normal walking speed. So there we go. Shifting gears now been complete. That's it. That's that quest done while we're sitting here working on it. Alright, let's go back to something to eat and drink now. Alright. Where is this birch tree? You said you found one?
Yep. To the east of the
East. Okay.
east of my base.
Alright. I'm gonna keep going this way then.
There's a wood and land area, and there's a birch tree over there.
And for people wondering how I'm shifting the camera around, I'm holding right click and doing that. Moving the mouse. Cherry kernels. They can only be used for like planting cherry trees and compost, right? What is that? That's a wild goose. Yeah, I see you down there.
Yep, you see me?
Yep.
Alright, where is it?
And basically, you notice I have a mini map down here, and you notice little icons showing up on it. The higher your exploration skill and detection skills are, the more things you'll see, as well as in the real world in the game. Oh. You gained 100 experience. But there's random experience events like that as you find interesting things and stuff. And every time you find something new, you get experience as well.
Okay, I'm by the birch.
Okay, I'm heading up towards you. And these different biomes that we're in, like we're in an ox pasture right now. And stuff. Like here's a wild horse we can theoretically tame. I'm just hitting this one little wind thing real quick. Yep. Those wind things give you a little boost of speed for free. This is a birch tree, folks. And we need it because we need the bark. There we go. Now, with the bark, we can come back to our crafting menu. And we can make a birch kuska. Or kukas. Kuskas? How do you pronounce it, David?
Not sure. Let's see.
I'm going to make one real quick. There we go.
Kuksa,
Kuksa.
I think.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. But you can see that this thing has, wear and tear to it. It has quality, and the quality matters on everything in this game in the sense that quality basically determines how much of a bonus items give you. And kind of the big grind of this game is to improve the quality of your stuff. What is this over here? What is that? This looks like some sort of wild plant. Alright, I don't have farming yet, so I probably can't harvest it.
Yeah, that's for the wild gourds.
The wild gourds. Yeah, so basically you can take those seeds and plant them over and over, and eventually you'll get pumpkins. So if we go into the water here, we can right click our left click, and then I think it's Left click the water? No. Alright, I think I just messed it. Okay, there it is. I can't remember how to do this. Is it right click? Yes. Okay. Left, pick it up with your mouse by left clicking, and then right click the water source. And now we have it. So now we're going to drink some water. Yep. Well, I have to burn some stamina first. Hold on. A chip of stone. That should burn some stamina, I think. Right? Yeah, that's slowly burning some stamina. That's the blue bar up there. Okay, so now let's take a sip. Sip. There we go. And that restored my blue bar, which is stamina, which also burns down your energy bar, which again you refill by eating food. Okay, there we go. So, acquire a stat
I'm gonna
increase
go
rate.
stow the horse.
Okay. What stat do I want to increase? Well, let's eat one of these. There we go. What I gain? I gained 1 charisma. Okay. So that's another quest done. So you've got a horse there, David? Are you taming horses
Yep.
now?
Kinda. Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so we did that. Let's go. So let's increase some of our stats, or our abilities here. I think that's what it's going to be next here. Ways in the Wild. Oh, yeah. So we have to craft stone axe, equip the axe. Okay, so let's do that one real quick. Go back into here to craft. Nope, that's close. No, yeah. Close, tools, axes, stone axe. So you just need a branch and a rock. We have a branch and a rock. And there we go. We've made a fairly awful stone axe. Equip the axe. So let's go into our equipment screen. That's my equipment screen. Where's my equipment? Nope. Nope. That wasn't. Where's my equipment screen? There it is. Good Lord. And so we'll put the stone axe in our hand here. There we go. And you can also put these on like your hotbar and stuff to make equipping them. Well, once you get a belt, you can put them on your belt to make equipping them faster. Homesickness, teleport home. Okay, so now it wants us to teleport home. Which, that's under Adventure, Haven and Hearth, and then travel to your Hearthfire. There we go. Okay. So there you go. It's kind of like the first part of the game here. Do you have like a pile for like all these cherry pits or cherry kernels?
I got a compost.
Where is your compost?
Over here.
Okay. I mean, these aren't high quality, so they're probably lower the quality of your compost a little bit.
Yeah, right, this one is the low quality one.
That's your low quality one? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Alright. Thank you, sir. Okay. So now, with that one done, go into our next
And
quest
if
here.
you wanted to chip some ores, I dropped some ores over here.
Well, right now I'm working on my first few quests. Like, I'm working on foraging right now, so I need 3 points of exploration, which you always kind of be increasing your exploration, by the way, folks, because that increases your ability to see things, as well as you get higher quality things when you find them. And I think lore also increases a little bit.
This one I'm right now is looking is one of my prize trees.
Oh, nice. That's one of your prize trees? What level's that tree?
Yeah. 81.
Nice.
Got some branches if you want to harvest.
I appreciate that. I mean, my skills are so low that it would actually reduce the quality of the branch. There we go. Okay, so now it wants me to get a point of perception. Need to find something to give me perception. I think apples give perception, right?
What skills are you looking for?
I have to increase perception. Specifically.
Apples do that.
Yeah, chestnut, what's that do? I will take the chestnut. That's strength. Ooh, hazelnut also gives perception.
You have a hazelnut
Yep, hazelnut
tree
doesn't.
over there?
No, I found one in the squirrel pile.
Ah.
Yep, we'll eat these hazelnut.
Oh.
Hazelnut. Let's see here. What's this? Apple. Alright, so yesteryear's apple gives me perception as well. There we go. There's the point of perception. Let me grab one more apple. Real quick. There we go. I'm going to go put some more of these in your low quality thing here.
Where is it? Ah, yes.
There we go. Try to spread this out a little bit. I'll take the +1 strength. There we go. Again, working on leveling up our stats kind of across the board. Now I got 2 points of perception. Impressive. Let's see here. Where's your low quality compost? There it is. Low quality compost. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've only got... Well, you got some dead crops over here, man.
Yeah, I winter killed some.
Gotcha. And these here are graves that I'm standing next to. Those are previous characters of yours?
Yep.
What quality is your well, by the way?
Only 17, but
That's still
better
better
than nothing.
That's better than the water. I'm stuck in the trees over there. There we go. Alright, so now I need to find a spindly taproot, a stinging nettle, and some blueberries and some contrails. So this is where increasing those stats comes into play. So if we go back to our character sheet here, actually our equipment menu, you'll see our detection is now 48. Different items in the game, like spindly taproots, like it was talking about, as well as like the blueberries and all, require minimum amounts of perception to find them. Certain levels. Oh, there's a beehive down here. I'm not going to go mess with the beehive. Like, there are some things out there that require... What is that? What do I see? Berries. Yeah, berries for these. Like, certain items, you can't see them until you get a thing high enough. Well, that's a blackberry. Well, not what I'm looking for. It does increase perception. We'll eat it. There we go. I'll grab a couple of those. You do kind of want to spread out what you're eating, simply because... Oh, got perception again. There we go. I'm going to grab a couple more of these. I know I'm not doing this perfectly, with, like, balancing it all out perfectly here. Kind of thing is that. There's more cherries, I don't know what it is. Well, let's go see if we can't find a spindly taproot here. Perfect. Gain the strength on that one. It's good. What's in here? More acorns. Now I will keep looking at these squirrel burrows and stuff, just see if I can find things. Let's see here. Spindly taproots. Spindly taproots. What do we have down here? Someone's been paving something down here to the south of you. There's a canoe down here, too. Canoe seems to be in good shape. Yeah, there's also someone at home down here, too. So we're not going to bother them. Don't know if they're going to be hostile. Alright. Although David's told me that most of the neighbors around his area of operations here are pretty friendly. Oh, there I go. I jumped down that hill and I didn't mean to, but alright. This is an ant nest. These are very good resources later on. I don't have need of it right now, and I don't want to fight the ants. Yep, we found a spindly taproot over here. That's what that symbol is on the map here. You zoom in, spindly taproot, and that is... Alright, you see these little things, these little root-looking things here on the ground? That's what we're looking for. So we can pick that, and there's our spindly taproot. Now I need singing metal. And to show you the bigger map here, Control A. Yep. And that's the bigger map. And it fills in as you explore around. And you can see things on it, like there's blueberries up there, so we should go and get those. And like these little black lines are the cliffs. Let's go get that blueberry real quick, so I do need that. It's telling me there's a gap in the cliff here, but that's just, I think, a map issue. This cliff... Nope, no, I made it up the cliff. That's most impressive. We're just going to walk around. I'm not going to go over that ravine. We're going to move this off to the side so I can see a little bit. Come on, go around. Pathfinding in this game can get interesting. What we're hearing is presumably a beehive somewhere. Let's see here. There's the blueberry right there. So we're going to pick that. And I'll get the... I'll go around the tree. And that will get the blueberry quest part done. There we go. Now we just need a stinging nettle. I can see a rabbit on the map. Where did blueberries give us? Intelligence. Oh yeah, blueberry really good. So we should actually go get some more blueberries. Intelligence increases the amount, or the weight of the study items you can study. What is this? Someone left a thing of beach brow here. Okay, interesting. So brows are a type of branch, basically. And I should be looking for a spruce tree while I'm around. Because then I can make a hat. And kind of one of the early rules is, you know, try not to mess with the players wearing spruce caps, because we call them green caps, because they're new players, usually. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll mess with the spruce caps.
Yeah, and I'm less than a spruce cap right now, because I don't even have one. Alright, let's see here. Let's keep looking around. Well, we're at a green...
Do I have a spruce?
Do you have a spruce tree? Take that blueberry. Okay.
Woody birch. I thought I had a spruce somewhere.
It's okay. And I'm going to grab some more of these blueberries.
Hello, willow.
How am I doing on, like... Okay, I'm getting there on increasing my intelligence. A couple more blueberries. And the more you eat the same food, the less effect it has, until you give it time in between eating, by the way, folks. Alright, let's go back to my map here. I always forget that it is Control A to open that up. What do we have? Brouses. Someone paved something up there. It looks like someone was paving something down here, over here to the south. Like, we can go catch that water bug, too. No, those are something you can study. You can see the birds here wandering around. The birds are not normally hostile. Ooh, we've got a grub over here. There's a stinging nettle right there. So I can actually just right-click on it on the map, and your character will navigate to it. But we have to watch out, because it is nighttime, so there's a bat over there. Bats are hot. And bats hurt. So there's a stinging nettle. The reason once you pick these up is because they are technically string. So if you need string, that's what you get. I'm going to grab this grub as well over here. And so your first steps in hunting are things like grabbing the squirrel down here. And so we can eat this grub, and it'll give us a chance to get some strength. Which is not what I wanted. I wanted the intelligence. Oh well. It's kind of a gamble what you're going to get when you eat things like that. Eat this chestnut real quick. And so what I could do, grab this squirrel here. So I've got a squirrel. And, you know, that's so I can wring its neck, and that's how you get a dead squirrel. That's hunting in this game. When you start off. Like, eventually you can get, like, a bow and other weapons that'll make it easier. Oh, we got some beech nuts, which also increase intelligence. We'll eat those. I should have picked that up first. Hindsight. Alright. That's not the quest I want to work on. I need a Chantel now, don't I? Watching. Yep, I need some Chantels. Which I don't remember what the perception requirement for Chantels are. They're a type of mushroom for people who don't know. There's that squirrel nest. Okay, there's the beech nuts. Okay. I should have picked them up the first time. I'm going to eat them. Yep. And if we go back into here and go into here. So our hunger level's getting a little high. We're at 2.1%. So what we could do is just not eat for a few days, and it would go back down. And then we get that 300% bonus on our food efficiency. But I really want to increase my intelligence. So I need to increase agility, intelligence, constitution, dexterity, will, and psyche. Psyche's a really hard one to increase. Psyche can just be a real pain. Alright, what can I craft? I could craft some bark cordage with tough bark, but I don't need to do that right now. Food. I could make some grub, which that increases perception and agility. That just requires 2 bugs, so that might be worth doing, actually. A horrible knot. Ah, so this is a study item. And basically you just knot a whole bunch of string together. So basically you just need 1 stinging nettle, 1 spindly root, and then 6 random other strings. And equipment-wise, I can make some bark reinforcement, which increases your unarmed combat skill. Or I could make a taproot lacing, which I actually might do, because that increases your survival. And we could make a birch bark backpack if I had some more birch bark. It's kind of the first backpack you can make. And nettle pants if I had some more nettles, which actually we'll start looking for some more nettles. I'm just going to throw out these things. I don't even know what the yesteryear's crab apple is for. Let's just throw them out. I don't need them. And you can also make a stinging nettle shirt, which would be good. So let me go see if I can find some more stinging nettles here real quick, folks. I'm going to grab this spindly taproot. You kind of always need spindly taproots and stuff. Okay, let's go see here. Map. Let me get my map back open. Oh, I keep going off the side. Yeah. So let's keep going exploring this way. That's a bear. We're not going to go over to the bear.
Yeah, let's avoid the bears.
Yeah, bear not friendly. Bears can and will one-shot you if you're not careful. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, I'm not at a point where I can even think about taking a bear.
Yeah, I've never been strong enough to take a bear in this game, if I'm honest. There's a lot of bats out today. Bat up there, bat up over there. And I'm not at the point in-game right now where I could even think about fighting a bat if I wanted to. I've got some red deer. Silk moth. Red deer should be passive. Right? Got some rats. So rats are kind of cool, and they are easy to hunt. That's a wild boar. Let's not get much. Another wild boar. The wild boar and the bear both can kill you in this game quite easily. If you're not careful. Same with moose. Moose will kill you in this game. You can see the pig there on screen. Right there. As it wanders around. And there's the red deer there. We got some sort of big settlement kind of southwest of you here, David.
Yeah, I haven't met any of those neighbors.
And they've got look at this settlement. That's fairly well laid out too. I'm gonna get a little closer here. Got bird's nest there. What's that? Seeds. We'll go after this blueberry over here. I'm not close enough that I see anybody in there yet. But I also don't know if it's open or not. There's a dead fox down here. And there's a living fox down here. So one of the things you can find in this game is the animals will hunt. Like, foxes will hunt rabbits and, squirrels and things. And you can actually butcher the ones they hunt. Let's skin it. I want this fox hide. There we go, we got a fox hide. Eat it. Got some intestines. Some entrails. Alright, I'm just gonna drop these rocks. I don't need these rocks. And now let's butcher the fox. Okay. I'm gonna throw out these cherries too. Because the bones are kind of important, so we're gonna grab those bones. Collect bones. There we go. So all parts of the animal are very important in this game. I'm trying to get a little closer to these people's homes here. Let's get back into our map. There's a dandelion in there. In fact, there's a fox fighting a squirrel right there. That's what this sound is. And that fox actually killed the squirrel. Now, you have to be careful with this, because the foxes run off. But if the fox was still close by when you grab the squirrel, they can get defensive about it. Let me see if I can get in here and get this dandelion. Oh man, that's a very neat, bee layout. So, part of the reason you see these people have their bees next to their farmland is the bees do actually improve your farmland. So, their hearth fires are still there, they're just not showing as active. So when they're kind of a pale green like that, that means the player's not online right now. So the reason the dandelion's important is because it is a study item. You can just stick it here. There we go. And what is that? Okay, here. This is a pile of fish. They just have a pile of fish out here. And an urn. That land is owned by somebody else. Okay. It's got a bunch of fishing equipment in that urn. They're doing a lot of fishing. Oh, Dava just went offline.
Yep. I need to start heading for bed.
Alright, man. Well, I'll catch you later. Thank you for getting me on. I'm going to head back home soon. I'm not going to spend too long on tonight. I'm trying to find enough spruce to make a spruce hat, though.
Yeah. Feel free to take whatever you wish.
Okay. I will. What should I have? 1, 2, 3.
And in like by the fire, there's a whole bunch of food items for you.
I appreciate that. Here we got, what, sea berries, I think they're there.
I'll see you.
Yep, catch you later. Alright, folks, but I'm not going to play too much longer. I just kind of wanted to show you all the intro steps. I wanted to at least get like a spruce hat made here. But a lot of this game is just wandering around, exploring, and doing things like that, and working your way up in skills. In that sound you're hearing is a beehive. The character's over there. Got another birch tree. Which has a space for bark. I can eat these nuts here. I'm just gonna clear out some of this extra fruit stuff I'm carrying around. Go. Get all that. See if we can't get a birch bark backpack. Bark. Oh, nope. We are on someone else's property. So we cannot harvest the birch tree. That is unfortunate. And that red flash was those folks' land claim that have been wandering around. And you see these little things that look like tombstones, but don't have like a grave in front of them. Those are mile markers. You can follow these, and it's a road. Can I pick this bark? Yes. Nope, that's still underlined. Man, these people have a huge claim. So their claim includes like all of this. It's nice that they've allowed it so people can just wander across their claim, though. Sometimes people don't do that. Which can be very annoying. To make traversal of the countryside hard. Polite people don't block up the land too much like that. They may have a claim, so you can't like build in there, but they leave it open for people to pass through. And the way you protect your stuff inside your claim is you build a palisade like they have, and then you build a gate. And one of the things you would do is you'd build a visitor gate. One of the things they've changed in 16.1 is all gates will now be visitor gates. Period. The end. They're not going to be like normal gates and visitor gates anymore. They're going to be all just visitor gates, as far as mechanically. And basically what that means is if you walk through a visitor gate, you cannot, beyond very specific like situations, take hostile action. So, equipment, bags. What do I need for birch bark? I need 2 more birch bark. Okay. Let's go find another birch tree. There's one right there. We're gonna make ourselves a backpack, so that at least we'll accomplish something. Still impressed I haven't seen any spruce trees around here. Alright, so let's come over here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I'm gonna step right here. I'm gonna drop. Oh goodness, that is. What is that? That's Wolverine. We're gonna leave Wolverine alone. Wolverines can be very dangerous in this game, but they're also a good source of things like foxes. So Wolverines will sometimes kill foxes and other animals. Alright, so now we're gonna make this birch bark basket real quick. Craft. There we go. And there we go. And then we're going to put this on our character. And there we go. We get an extra column of inventory space now. Yep. I'm going to grab my squirrel and get away from the Wolverine. Also going to grab a little bit more birch bark. Birch bark is always very useful in this game. What's this here? You can also inspect things. So here's a command you can get, and it's good to kind of have on the hotbar. If you go into Adventure, Inspect, you can just put it like right here. There you go. And then the other thing that's good to have is just put your fast travel here, like on 0, so you've always got it. And then you can just click Inspect, and you can just do this, and it will tell you that's a bay willow. This is whatever. That's a terebinth. That's fig tree, so that's figs. Which I actually think I will. I'm going to pick a couple leaves, because fig leaves are important. You can use them to make food. Yep. And then you can also pick the fruits. Yep. And the figs. Oh, that's agility and charisma, so we'll eat those real quick. There's all kinds of things you can do in the game. Beech nuts, more hazelnuts. I will eat that. Hazelnut. I get charisma. Each nut. Didn't really need the charisma. What kind of tree is that one over there? Strawberry. There's a bird's nest in there. I would raid the birds. Aha! I just saw something I need. I saw another singing nettle. I would normally raid the bird's nest if I was a little more leveled up in the game, because they're a good source of certain materials. There's another sort of settlement down here. The main problem is the birds will attack you. Now, they won't, like, keep attacking you. They'll attack you once and then, like, fly off. But it interrupts your attempts to harvest the bird nest. So things to keep in mind. See if we can't get a good look at this settlement down here. That is a broken carved stone. Oh, this looks abandoned. Let's see here. The hearth fire's still here. Let's see if there's anything in this log. Nope, that's just an old log. They've got a quern, though, for grinding feeds and things. Got an old campfire that's breaking apart. This is a long abandoned house. Let's go see if we can get this ladybug over here. Ladybugs are also curiosity. You can study them. We got some arachnuts. I'm not sure how you pronounce the word, but it's basically old wild cows. So we're gonna study this ladybug. It's mental weight on the ladybug. 3. Okay. So put that in here. There we go. And so we can see that right now I have used up 6 of my 10 mental weight, meaning since my intelligence is 10, I can study up to 10 mental weight of things. That's generating learning points, which I can then spend to, like, increase my lore, my survival, cooking, farming if I want. And each one of these is like 10 times the level. So, like, if I did that, so, like, if I wanted to buy sewing 2, that's 200 points of your learning points. Increase my exploration one more time. Exploration is just so important in this game. Where are the spruce trees? Alright, I'm going to show you a feature that is very useful. So we're going to go... provinces, add map marker, no. No. So you see how it shows, like, dandelion and stuff? There is a... view distance, no. Display grid, actions, map markers, party names. Where is it? There's a thing in here that basically lets you toggle what you want it to display. Let's see here. This view distance shows you, like, within this area is where it will display things you can see. Display pointers? No. Display grid? No. Show name and markers? No. No. That's not what I'm looking for. Where is it? Oh, icon settings. This is an entirely different menu. So, like, I could come to here and go trees and say, I want to see birch trees, and in this case I'm looking for spruce. I'm going to go down here to spruce and do that. And you can see right here, it's showing me there's a birch tree right there on the map. Now if I want around, I should find, like, a spruce tree. So, oh, it's raining, man. red plain. I'm probably not going to find any. Actually, nope. There's one right there, down here past the cows. That's a spruce tree right there. Well, call me a liar. Yeah. The other thing I can do is is if you hold shift and right click, it'll deposit all the same thing in a pile. So like, I just put all my leaves in that pile. Let's put that there, and I'm going to come over here and grab some boughs. I need some spruce boughs to make my spruce cap. What do I need to make the spruce cap? Craft, equipment, hats, spruce cap. It's 2 and a string. Well, I don't want to use my stinging nettle. I want to use my spindly taproot. So now I have a spruce cap. So if I go back into my thing here, there we go. I'm now officially a spruce cap, and it gives me, well, it doesn't give me anything, but I can geld it, and it will give me extra features that way. But there we go. I think we're going to call this episode there. Let's go ahead and do the smart thing, and we will fast travel back to our hearth fire. And that is the very intro steps of Haven Hearth there. Like, obviously I got to skip a couple steps. Like, I didn't have to make my own shoes. Then Stavid was kind enough to provide shoes for me. But, with that all said, let me know what y'all think. Have y'all seen Haven Hearth before? Are y'all thinking about joining World 16.1 when it comes out? I know my wife and I are thinking about it, and I know David's thinking about it. And I may do a community post for my community if people want to join and hang out in Haven Hearth. It's a fun game. It's a bit of a grind, and it's one of those games where, like, if you've got a group of people, it is completely fine for people to specialize. Like, if you've got people that want to be a farmer, like my wife, she loves the farming in this game, so I'm going to let her go to town on the farming. You know, if you've got someone who wants to do nothing but pottery all day, let them do pottery. Like, right now in this world, I know David's been focusing very heavily in mining. And that's kind of what I did in the last time we played together. So, it's a game that really encourages you to specialize. Especially because I'm going to kind of show you why. So, you notice how you have to spend your learning points to learn these different skills, like ancestral worship, animal husbandry if you want to do things like raising cattle, you know, archery if you want to make bows, cooking if you want to cook different types of foods, you know, tanning for making leather and things like that. You know, stoneworking for making, like, stone, you know, crafts and whatnot. And then there's, like, pottery for making, you know, clay jars, vessels, kitchenware, stuff like that. All of this specializes. And then, to get even deeper into it, there's a whole nother level. Instead of just skills, which is what these are, because you can also see the skills you have, there's also credos, which are basically sets of quests that level up. Like, for example, fisherman makes you better at fishing, and they level up 5 times each, so reduces your risk of losing your fishing equipment. Better trash recovery when fishing, meaning you have a better chance of catching, you know, interesting stuff. Increased chance of a rare catch, so catching rare fish and stuff. Reduced cost of fisher's request for a catch, meaning if you want to cast that spell that lets you get a better chance of catching something, it costs you less XP. And then increases your baseline quality of fish you catch, meaning you catch better fish, which means you can make better food, because your fish are higher quality, etc. And you basically do, you know, I think it's 2 quests per level on your first one. And these bonuses, by the way, are permanent. Once you've done them, you permanently have those. So even if, I think, if I remember correctly, even if your character dies, if you inherit from that character, I believe, if I remember correctly, your new character will have already completed that credo as part of the inheritance. The credos are very powerful. And they lead into more. So that was fisherman. Then you have one for foraging, which foraging is just really good. It's a credo that I think everybody should probably do, because it also opens up a lot of other credos. Like, the first level is just plus 10 levels of exploration for completing the first set of quests. The next level, Just plus 10 levels your perception stat. And that's, together, just a huge bonus to your detection stuff. Super good. You also get increased bonus when moving around, chasing animals, increased baseline quality of all herbs you pick up out of the wild and stuff. And then you just get a chance of just picking up double herbs. So, you know, those blueberries and things I was picking up off the ground, you have a chance of just getting 2 of them instead of 1. Fantastic. You know. And then there's lore, which, you know, teaches you, like, different things. There's, like, little quests and things that you've done and learned. But anyways, and then there's the whole, like, combat system, which we haven't even gotten into. That'll be for a later episode. And I'm not particularly good at it, just so people know. But anyways, I've chatted long enough at you all. I'm also sorry if my voice has sounded a little scratchy in these last couple videos, since I got back from vacation. I came back from vacation with, like, something between a chest cold and sinus issues. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, this has been Thalan McRom, bringing you something a bit different, but still kind of up my vein. It is a survival game, which I like. It is also kind of a roguelike in the sense that it has permadeath. Like, your character dies, you make a new one. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, you do have the option of picking up where your character kind of left off as far as, like, having access to your base and stuff, but, you know, you only get something like, I think, 35% of your XP and skills and stuff back that you gained. So, you know, you do have to regrind it. That skill I showed you called Ancestor Worship, it lets you get back up to, I think, 60% of the stats and stuff you had when you died, if you do the Ancestor Worship stuff. But anyways, that's a whole deep dive we could do later on. But thank you all for watching. If you like this content, let me know. Like and subscribe. Leave comments. Have you ever played Haven Hearth? Do you like Haven Hearth? Do you hate the game? I don't know. It's a game that has a lot of opinions on it because of the always-on PvP, for example. Some people don't like it, but I mean, that's the one thing about the game I don't like. I love the gameplay, love the world, love the lore, all that's cool. Don't like the PvP part. Ever since I got, you know, killed in PvP a couple times once. But anyway, I digress, and we'll catch you all later. See you all in the next episode. I hope you all have a wonderful one, and thank you all for watching my videos.